Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I'll try and keep this one short and sweet. I'll try and not rant on for too long. This is mostly aimed at guys that are in relationships. So particularly younger guys that are a bit inexperienced. Now, I'm not a relationship guru. I haven't had a lot of relationships, but from experience, this is what I'm going to tell you about. And it's the fact that sometimes in a relationship, for your own mental health, your own financial status, and your happiness, you sometimes just need to say no. So I'm going to be talking about impulse spending and how in a relationship you could feel pressured into buying things or spending money on a particular item or something else to make your other half, your missus, feel happy. And if you don't spend that money on that particular item and whatnot, quite often it can lead to arguments, it can lead to your missus being unhappy, it can lead to her being cold towards you. If you've not been going out that long, maybe she'll even finish with you. But I suppose if that's the kind of person that you dated, then you kind of dodged the bullet. But even if things start off okay and you start to get into a longer term relationship, it's still important to keep your wits about you and not to let your guard down. At the end of the day, we're living in quite a stressful time with the cost of living and whatnot, and the money doesn't go as far as it used to go. People are working more hours in order just to make ends meet, living from paycheck to paycheck. That is something personally that really stresses me out. I'm not an impulse spender. I never have been. I've always been brought up to be careful with money, to try and save money where I can. At the moment, I have a partner and a young son with autism. I won't go into a big backstory about that, but basically, he's very fussy about what he eats. All he eats is really takeaways and whatnot, and he throws major tantrums and whatnot if he doesn't get his specific wants and needs met. So that costs a lot of money and whatnot as well, for fast food and stuff. But that's a story for another time, maybe. But it is important that you are able to do what you want to do in relationship as well. And if that means saying no to a particular thing that your missus wants to spend money on or whatnot that you don't feel is essential, you don't feel is going to benefit your relationship or your family or your circumstances, you have to be adult about it. You have to try and communicate with your other half and try and explain to them, look, if we buy that thing or we book this holiday when we really shouldn't do, there's bills maybe that we have to pay, or there's this is going to stop us from doing something later on. Depending like the time of the year as well. Like it's obviously what we're in just now, October, when I'm filming this. So if you spend a lot of money now and then Christmas is only round the corner and then you're having to spend money on that and whatnot, and you end up getting into loads of debt, you end up unhappy, stressed. A lot of guys will end up just sort of not spending money or even like maintaining their hobbies when they get into a relationship with a woman because she's wanting this, that, and the other, and they don't want to rock the boat, so they feel that they have to oblige, and they end up taking out loans and credit cards to try and maintain the relationship, and they end up in debt. They end up their mental health suffers, their hobbies suffer. Quite often, their friends drift off, or they do the drifting, if you like. You can look at it both ways. So it's important to be mature and try and see what's happening. A lot of guys can't see this until it's too late. But if you don't feel that that purchase is going to benefit you as essential and whatnot, and it's going to cause more problems in the long run, you should be able to have an adult, mature conversation with your other half about it. No doubt, 9 times out of 10, it's going to cause a big argument and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you need to think of yourself as well, your mental health, your hobbies and whatnot. I mean, you just don't exist just to pay bills and look after your family. You've got to have things that you want to do and whatnot as well. So that's really the advice that I'd give to guys in a relationship, especially younger guys that are just starting out. Just be careful what you're doing and don't feel that you have to spend loads of money to maintain the relationship, keep your girlfriend happy. And if you feel pressured into doing that, maybe you need to think, maybe this just isn't the right fit for me, and maybe it's time to move on. But only you can decide that. Thanks for watching.